Good to have you back. It is still Good Morning, Anambra. Now we are in a different segment, going to talk different thing, but it's all bordering on the way we live, what the government is doing, and what we can do to complement the efforts of government in Anambra State. Welcome. Now we're going to look at increasing fish production in Anambra State, and we'll have a gentleman that have joined us to look at that, and he is Mr. Emeka Iluanya, MD CEO, Anambra Fishery and Agriculture Business Development Agency. That's a big one. You're welcome, Emeka.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, and I still have Dave with me. Dave?
Yeah, we're still here to look at this important aspect of our economy as well.
Especially as it concerns our port. If you're a woman, I'm an azu. Okay, apart from Kaina Tana kitchen. Okay. I say Anambra government has said that it will establish fish production sites in 3 senatorial districts of the state to ensure increased production and wealth creation. This is where we're going to stand as we talk this morning. Okay? And I know that there are so many things to talk about fishery, but now that we have an expert in the house, tell us more about this statement.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been on this journey, and I always like to look at it from that perspective. His Excellency came into this governance with a total plan, and like I always say, that is the big thing. Because once you're organized, then you can go far. If you're not organized, then you normally will find yourself in a vicious cycle. So His Excellency came with the 4 pillars, that eventually became 5 pillars, and then there are the enablers and the expected outcomes. And within the pillars, actually agriculture is the number 1 pillar. And fish happens to be a major rod in that pillar. So now, His Excellency appointed myself in 2014 to help to develop the fisheries sector. Now, the mandate is quite simple and straight, to increase fish production in the state and to get the youth and the women involved.
Before the increment, would you say you have done well in the first term, helping to?
Yes, I would say definitely, because we have recorded a milestone. Today, you see, you introduced me with my new designation. That's a major milestone. We have an agency now that is dedicated to developing the business of fisheries and aquaculture. Invariably means that we are building the industry. If we did not do well, if we were not organized, we were not making progressive and successive progress, we will not come to the point of having to add legislation to this to give some more muscle and authority to be able to do
yes, because talking about that, the Anambra State Fishery and Aquaculture Business Development Law that necessitated the agency. Can you tell us some of the high points of this law, and maybe beyond what you're doing, what we're going to expect to see from this effort? What is it that will be done differently under the law and under the agency?
Okay, so the agency has a mandate, just, a bill or an executive bill was sent to the House of Assembly, and they treated it thoroughly. They went through it very well and then made some adjustments and eventually passed into the law. So in that law, there is the function of the agency. And again, because of time, I'll just summarize it in this way. The agency is laden with the responsibility of regulating the sector. Now, you do not regulate what you don't have. So governance is involved. So basically, we came into being, the agency came into being to reposition the fisheries and aquaculture sector in the state in such a way that the articulated structure that already has been brought to this stage will be able to have some life, So when we have as we have the law, we will be able to say, hey, people are producing fish, people are setting up fish production projects in certain way. We will need to be able to help to steer them on the path that would ensure effectiveness, ensure efficiency, and ensure growth. Basically, that's why we're here. And you'll notice something: the business development Now, this is the first time it's happening in this country. There is no state in this country that has an agency that is particularly focused on developing the business of fisheries and aquaculture, and especially in the agriculture, basically, So now, what we have come into being to do is to increase the pace of what we already started. And you see, fortunately, and we should be grateful to God for our governor, His Excellency, for the privilege and opportunity to coming back the second term. So he's building, the administration is building on what has been started. If he wasn't here, maybe we will not, continue the way we are doing. But now, you see, we are putting on top of the foundation that has already established. Everything I am doing and we're doing in the agency had already been established and documented. The foundation has been cast. Now we are building on top of it. Now you mentioned about the fish production centers in the 3 senatorial zones. We came out. Initially, His Excellency's objective had been to have fish production villages. That's what we call it, fish villages in the 21 local government areas. That objective is still there. But because we need to do something that will work and endure, not just to say we want to do something and then we just make it and go away, and it doesn't endure. We had to scale it down to 3.
That was what I asked you. Do you think what you have done in the past 4 years concerning development of fishery and aquaculture in Anambra State has ensured good production of fishes in Anambra State? Do we have enough to go around? What you put in place during those past 4 years, can you not beat your chest and say that now that Anambra State is good to go in fish production?
Again, I think I responded to that, but again, because you bring it up, I'll repeat again. Now, it is a journey. If we understand the nature of what you're doing, then we stand the chance of succeeding ultimately. But if we don't understand and we think we want to respond to quick fixes, we want to respond to what people are clamoring for immediately, you'll discover that you might find yourself in a vicious cycle, and at the end of the day, the time is up and you can't see what you have done. So what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. What we have done, we first of all got all the stakeholders in the fisheries sector. Stakeholders means stakeholders. Whether you have 1% stake, you are a stakeholder. If you have 90% stake, you're a stakeholder. So I got all of them, and we have what we call Anambra Aquaculture Value Chain Innovation Platform, where all the fish sellers, the consumers of fish, the traders of fish, the producers of fish, the seed input providers and suppliers, and all manner of actors in the fishes and aquaculture value chain, they came together and we are engaged together. So when we came together, we began to interact. Now there's what is called change management. Initially, 2014, 2015, we started well, and at the time it tended to be turbulent. It's normal. Some people think, it's fight. No, when you see such thing, it means something is happening. So we did that, and we had long overcome that. Now we are all moving together. What people actors in the fisheries value chain are doing now is they are asking for quick action. They are asking, let us move, let's move, let's move.
Everybody is asking for quick action.
Yes, because they already see there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If there was no light at the end of the tunnel, what you will see is frustration. Nobody will even know what.
Those are one of the challenges I want to bring up. When you talk about the agency coming in place and ensuring that there is sustained development of that sector. Well, the fear usually is that when an agency of government pries into a particular issue, the challenge of overregulation or will I call it pommeling policies comes up.
Very good.
Don't you have that challenge? Don't you have fears from the actors that government coming into this business will be to only envelope them and decide what they do?
Good, very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, but before you take that, please, we're going on a short break. We're coming back just a very short break.
In 2018, a total of 5.320 trillion naira was collected as taxes by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. This is the highest ever collected as federal taxes in Nigeria. Taxes have become an important source of revenue, enabling the government to provide greater infrastructural developments in our country. Tax revenues enable government to provide more roads, more railways, more bridges, more housing, more schools, more students in schools, more hospitals, more security, and generate more power. Because Nigeria deserves more. Only your taxes can make all our dreams come true. This message is from the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS. It pays to pay your tax.
Okay, it's good to have you back. And we also spoke to some people on the streets. I would like to hear them before we continue here.
The government can provide something like the land resources, giving farms, giving implements, helping them to bring in the fingerlings, the very good species. I mean, they will encourage people to go into farming.
If the government can support the rural farmers, especially talking from my point of view as someone from an agrarian community of Iftogware, it will really help a lot if the government can support these rural farmers who mainly concentrate on other kind of farming other than fish farming, because they don't have the necessary government and economic support to engage in fish farming. If only government can do that, that will help them to engage in deliberate fish farming that will help to create or develop a lot of fish for people in Anambra and even beyond.
If we can cue into the policy, the good policy of the executive governor of Anambra State, especially amongst the youth, they should cue into it. I want to cue into it. You mustn't be a fisherman, either can in a journey but we cannot be make a beer in a smaller way. I want you as one, more Colombia bani, no more Bobby bani, Zohan Hamba Saturday to see as then also chaha as one because no can change something, value chain. And also has one cake is in a price of here because him no more go gelu as a chow la benine, Manobo nas to offer Famotia, Tinia Kania, a key in Namquado governor, Anambra State, Wapatana government here. Then Hebido Sobanzo, Hazuazo, Hamotako to see a dry azo. Amiazo. Okay, can they money and well?
Government can encourage, large scale pond, give incentives to people, to farmers to increase the production of the fish by giving them some incentives by way of soft loans and encouragement.
This year fish farming is very, very nice. If we can encourage the youth and empower them, because if you empower them, if they see the proceeds from this fish, they will continue, and it will help them to encourage the others. So it is very, very, very necessary. And we know that fish is very nice now, because we tell people not to take red meat. Fish very important. And if Anambra State starts exporting fish, it will go a long way.
You're welcome back. Thank you very much for rejoining us. It is still Good Morning, Anambra. And we are looking at increasing fish production in Anambra. And Emeka is still with us. Or Emeka is in charge of fish in Anambra State. Emeka, we noticed this very recently. Na enwefu mueba na mekife smoke fish here and there. What does that mean? So many of them springing up. Does that leave us with plenty of fish for consumption in Anambra State?
Yeah, you actually, I'll take what you said. You said smoked fish. Now, you have to have fish first before you smoke. And that's why I talk about organized approach, which is what we are taking from His Excellency, organized. Now, when you start in a journey, you start with 1 step and you get to 1,000 steps and all that, or 1,000 miles. So fish, our strategy is to be sure that there is continuous output of fish. So we have put all the stakeholders together. It is when the stakeholders stay together, you know what the different challenges. The challenges are different in nature. All the challenges, the challenge, for example, of the fish processor, the one that smokes fish, is not the same as the challenge of the person that produces the fish. Now, you see somebody that produces fish, he can tell you that the feed is costly and all that. Then the other one processing can tell you that you cannot sell or that you don't have enough fish.
So what are you doing to
and all
address
that.
the challenges?
But that is what I'm talking about. That's why we have the agency. The agency brings all the stakeholders together. In the agency, we have functions, we have different segments. There are 16 segments in the fisheries value chain that we've defined in Anambra State. Now, these segments have focal points. They are like, the agency, the structure of the agency is like a project arrangement where teams work according to their direction.
Sorry, one thing with this is, yes, these agencies exist, they have 16 focal points or segments.
Yes.
But the interest is, what new thing will the agency be doing or is doing already that will be seeing a new life
production of fish.
Or fishes in Anambra. We have a kind of a geographical location in Anambra where their output is in that fishery. People from riverine areas.
Yes.
What's your policy in that dimension? And then other people who are engaging in the process at the agricultural developed level. What are you doing? What new thing? What new life are you injecting into the process?
Good. Now we are bringing orderliness. Now, if we will understand, and by the way, the media is a very key partner in this journey, because it is through you that we disseminate the right information, because there is a lot of wrong information in the fishery sector, and which is stifling the growth of or development of fish production. So that's what we are addressing. If we are organized, we can go far. If we are not organized, we will not go far.
How long are you going to address that? How long are we going to address that?
No, we've addressed it already. We are in implementation stage now. Let me give you, for example.
Someone wants to join us.
Yeah, but we need to make some points, while they're doing that, so that we can.
We'll take that and
okay,
take
that's
it together.
okay.
Hello. All right, go on.
Hello.
Go on.
Okay. So now, you see, people want to see this result, and it's normal. You cannot blame somebody that is anxious. But also, since somebody wants a baby and say, I want a baby in 2 months, we all know that baby has to be in the womb for 9 months. You that knows that the baby has to be in the womb for 9 months will need to find a way to, manage the person, to, lead the person, keep the hope alive, and then lead the person to, successfully have a baby, rather than having a stillbirth or having a non-baby.
Now give us a projection. All these plans, when are we expecting?
We've passed the stage of plans. I'll tell you, this Saturday, I went to Jos, the Grand Cereal, in our partnership drive to bring them here, and I went there with the Honorable Commissioner for Agri before he came on board. I already done that.
At what level are they joining you?
No, we went for collaboration. If you want to produce fish, you need feed. Now, we need steady supply of feed. You don't start building fish feed and then start wanting to also at the same time increase fish production. You need to strategically position.
So what are you doing
we brought them
during the time you were planning?
You need to listen to me. In 2015, I went to Jos and I asked Grand Cereal that we need partnership. And we started that partnership. We signed a contract with them on the 8th of April 2016. And when they came with their management team, they announced to us, they confirmed to us that they've decided in their management to site fish feed factory in Anambra State. And today it has come on board. Now, between then and now, nobody understands it.
Are they producing fish feed now?
I said His Excellency is commissioning this Saturday.
Okay.
The day after tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a journey. You need to understand how development happens, how
that's
so
what people want to hear.
Yes, so this is manifestation of that. But before now, what people want to see is that the factory is producing feed. They don't want to hear that you're planning to produce. That's the point. So, but you see, we have a situation where we have a real case now. So I requested for this 2015, and then today it has happened. Now, what happened in between where they planned for 11 months, but look at it, it's about 3 years. So you see, you plan something, you try to, certain things come and you have to cope with them.
Just in 30 seconds, what do we expect after that? What do you call it?
We expect reduced competitive pricing in feed, because logistics from Jos is going to go off. Now, we have opportunity to supply raw materials to them. Cassava. So that's business for agriculture also for that, in that. and all that. So there are several economic, the velocity of money. They are going to employ more people there. So and there is a whole lot of benefits for that.
All right. Thank you.
And addressing the over-regulation that you mentioned earlier.
We don't have time again,
okay.
Please. You may need to come back and then tell us more on what you are doing to make sure that we'll have mass production of fishes in Anambra State. That's just the bottom line. Thank you, Mr. Meka Ilogalo, MD, CEO, Anambra Fisheries and Aquacultural Business Development Agency. It's good to have you here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'd like to thank you very much for those of you that participated this morning, the Good Morning Anambra team. You're great guys. Thank you for making it happen. My name is C. Jama, and I've been around with
Yes, it's been an interesting morning as we looked at these two topics that impact our daily lives. Join in the crusade for a better Anambra State.
And we are continuing with you tomorrow. Do remember to join us. Good morning.